So I signed a bill this past January to put more focus on the teen suicide problem and provide for more resources for folks to deal with the root problem, which is obviously these young people are disturbed. I heard this morning from my son that a kid he knew that he had met at New Jersey Boys State this past summer had committed suicide, 18 years old. He came in very shaken this morning when he got the news from one of his counselors. It is a real problem. There's enormous pressure on our kids these days, enormous pressure on them. Maybe because I'm a father who just went through the college application process with my first child, and I got a chance to watch up close Andrew and his friends going through that stress. And you have that, we talked about before, divorce in our society is placing an enormous stress on our kids who feel divided and separated from their parents. Drugs, which I've spent a lot of time talking about in the last couple of weeks. All of these things are adding more and more pressures. And so I think we have to get to the root of this problem. And the root of this problem is that we have a lot of children in desperation. And we're not as well equipped as we should be to spot the signs. And so that's why we signed the legislation we did this past January. And we're going to place more focus on it, because whether it's school employees or whether it's coaches or parents themselves who need to have a better idea of what the signs are. Sometimes you see the signs, you try to get a child help, and it just doesn't work. But more times than not, the stories I hear are you hear parents who go through this saying, I had no idea. I had no idea my child was that troubled. He looked a little withdrawn, or she looked a little quiet, but I just thought something little was bothering them. We need to start teaching people better, and we're working on that in the Department of Human Services to try to reach out through schools and other places in the Department of Education to try to get some better education for adults about what signs to spot. I think that's where we have the luck at solving the problem. When someone's determined to take their own life, they usually do. So we have to stop them from thinking that that's an acceptable alternative. And I think, part of that, the last part of it too, is that we have to be talking amongst ourselves about how precious life is. Be talking to our children about what a precious gift it is. And it's so much life to live. Think about, I'm 49. I think about everything that's happened to me in the last 31 years from when I was 18, and think about not having had a chance to experience all that life, and it's heartbreaking. So we got to try to help.